The modern food environment is an industrialized trap. Automated factory lines produce hyper-palatable snacks, engineered to systematically bypass your brain's natural signals for satiety. Global data reflects this environmental shift. In the year 2000, 58 million adolescents lived with obesity. By 2022, that number climbed to 163 million, pushing the total number of young people with excess weight to a staggering 391 million. This bar chart identifies a key driver: regional consumption of sugary drinks. In Latin America, 88% of adolescents consume these beverages, followed closely by the Caribbean at 83%. This market saturation tracks directly with the rise in metabolic dysfunction. Living in this rigged system makes traditional calorie counting feel like an impossible punishment. Willpower alone is rarely enough to overcome a food environment designed for overconsumption. This treatment program operates as a resource management strategy for metabolic recovery. We focus on the minimum effective dose of movement and nutrition to trigger a biological reset. Metabolic health functions as a direct biological response to these specific inputs. Improving it requires a data-driven blueprint for managing your body's internal resources. A week contains 10,080 individual minutes. This grid visualizes your total time for every activity. Highlighting exactly 210 squares reveals how little time the protocol actually consumes. This 2% block is the threshold for reducing mortality risk and reversing metabolic decline. The biological return on investment for this small time block is significant. Consistent adherence can reduce the overall risk of death by up to 40%. Maintaining longevity requires meeting this baseline biological requirement. The protocol focuses on metabolic survival rather than the aesthetic goals of fitness culture. Comparing this 210-minute block against the remaining 9,870 minutes puts the commitment in perspective. Reallocating a small portion of passive screen time creates the necessary space for active recovery. Success in the program depends on this specific, focused reallocation of weekly time from sedentary habits to active movement. Meeting the 210-minute requirement means roughly 30 minutes of daily moderate activity or a strategic combination of moderate and vigorous efforts. You can calibrate the correct intensity using the talk test. You should be breathless enough that you can still talk, but find it impossible to sing. Increasing the intensity changes the time requirement. 75 minutes of vigorous, breathless activity provides the same health benefits as 150 minutes of moderate movement. Strength training twice a week is a non-negotiable part of this minimum dose. Resistance exercise protects your autonomy by improving how muscles process glucose. Adopting this protocol involves a specific trade. You exchange the frictionless ease of sedentary habits, like long periods of gaming, for the physical effort of active movement. This trade-off results in increased energy and the functional capacity to live a life free from chronic, metabolic-related diseases. Investing 30 minutes in daily movement buys your body 23 hours of improved metabolic function. It is a highly efficient biological transaction. Nutritional recovery uses the Nova Classification to evaluate food by its level of industrial processing rather than its calorie count. Nova Group 1 consists of in-natural foods, like the whole apple and natural grains on this tray. These minimally processed foods serve as the primary input for restoring metabolic health. These stand in contrast to Nova Group 4, ultra-processed products with long ingredient lists. These engineered items are designed to hijack hunger cues and encourage overeating. This spectrum illustrates the transformation. We move from a fresh pineapple in Group 1 to processed pineapple in syrup in Group 3, and finally to a pineapple-flavored drink powder in Group 4. The rule of gold is to identify unrecognized ingredients. Products containing many additives you wouldn't find in a kitchen are likely Group 4 items that should be avoided. Transitioning to whole foods requires accepting the friction of food preparation. It means learning to peel more and unwrap less. This shift allows your brain to regain its natural ability to sense fullness. This internal regulation helps manage weight without the need for restrictive dieting. Downgrading the level of food processing provides a consistent metabolic lever for weight regulation. Success in the program often depends more on your psychological stage of readiness than on the medical information itself. Clinical stages of change range from contemplation, where you feel the need for change but haven't acted, to action and maintenance. Identifying your current stage helps set realistic goals. Bi-monthly consultations function as strategy sessions to help you navigate these transitions. The goal of these meetings is collaborative progress. This process requires radical transparency with your medical team. Openly discussing your challenges allows the team to provide more effective support. In this clinical framework, relapses are viewed as data points. They provide information to help refine the strategy rather than serving as signs of failure. Long-term success is defined by consistency in the action and maintenance stages, acknowledging that the path to health is rarely perfect. A clinical visit provides an opportunity to review the performance data from your 2% weekly investment. Every 2 months, we review this scorecard. We track whether the 210-minute movement goal was met, if Group 4 foods were avoided, and your current stage of readiness. Your doctor uses these 3 variables to adjust the protocol, ensuring the habits remain sustainable and effective for your life. You act as the lead developer of your own health. The doctor serves as a technical consultant, providing guidance on the biological data. The value of the clinic visit depends entirely on the effort you put in during the weeks between your appointments. Reclaiming metabolic autonomy involves a strategic trade, sacrificing immediate industrial convenience for long-term functional health. This program is designed for adolescents who are ready to use a data-driven approach to move past the cycle of guilt and frustration. If you are not yet ready to commit the 210 minutes per week, it may be time to reconsider your current stage of readiness. Obstacles like a lack of time or the temptation of ultra-processed food are steps to be climbed rather than walls. Permit yourself to begin the change today. You have the blueprint and the data. You can start the first 30 minutes of your 210-minute week right now. Investing just 2% of your week is what it takes to own the other 98.